Good day everyone, this is the Creators Lodge and you're welcome to my YouTube channel. Now in today's tutorial, I'm going to be showing you guys how to design a church flyer like this. Alright, so please sit back and watch till the end of this tutorial. If you have not subscribed yet, please do well to subscribe, and if you have not liked this video, please like this video right now and share this link, guys. Share this link to other creatives out there so that they can learn something new and something good today. The size I used for this design is the 3000 by 3500 size. Alright, my usual size. Okay, now I'm going to be explaining this design and then we're going to jump right into it as fast as we can. Now when you look at the picture and when you look at the theme of this design, you are going to see that it is blending. All right, it blends well with each other, it corresponds. Okay, now the theme says breakthrough night. Breakthrough night, so it simply means that you're about to lay hold on something, you're about to take over something, you're about to take dominionship or ownership of something. All right, now, and when you think about breakthrough, how do you represent breakthrough in graphic design? How do you represent breakthrough such that when the viewers see it, they will indeed be able to relate with that breakthrough that you speak about? Now, you don't want to talk about breakthrough night and then you are using images that does not give the feeling of breakthrough, such that when your viewer sees the flyer, when they see the flyer out there, they should begin to imagine the breakthrough. If you want to design a flyer with the theme breakthrough night and the picture you are using for that flyer or the picture you use for that flyer is not a picture that creates the emotion in the heart of the viewer, then your picture is not successful one for that design. You are not meant to use such a picture for that design. Now take for instance this picture that I used on this design. All right, you can see this warrior. Okay, and this warrior looks like he's standing on a hill. All right, and it looks like he's looking to the camp of the enemy. All right, it's like he's ready for war, someone that is ready to take over, someone that is well equipped. You can see there's a sword on his hand, you can see there's a sword behind. He is ready for war. There's something he wants to do. There's something he must take over. So the picture is already giving feeling to the theme breakthrough night. Breakthrough night. So there are other images, different images that you can also use, but ensure that it helps your viewer to feel what you want them to feel. It helps your viewer to feel, there's a feeling your flyer communicates. All right, so everything needs to play well, everything needs to blend well. Now look at the background, look at the light effects. All right, look at the dispersion of light. You are going to see that the dispersion of light, the light dispersions are used on this particular design is the texture, or let me say that the effect of this light, it goes well with this design. Everything blends well. Now when you look also on this design, you are going to see like a fire. I'm going to just highlight those fire particles. Now can you see this, guys? Can you see some fire particles on this design? It even gives the design more beauty. Can you see these fire particles on the design? All right, it gives the design more beauty and it creates that action feel. The idea of this flyer is to create an action feel, because when you want to break through, when you want to take over something, you must engage action. All right, you must engage action. Now for the Christians, that watching this tutorial right now, the scripture that says that right from the time of John the Baptist, the kingdom of God suffered violent, and only the violent take it by force. Only the violent takes it by force. So it simply means that if you want a breakthrough, you must go forcefully. Now the same way you look at this warrior holding a sword, he wants to march forcefully. So everything speaks about the theme of the design. Now having said this, let's go into the tutorial, guys. Okay guys, so this is the background we're making use of. So I'm going to mark this and increase the size of the background. All right, it has to fill your workspace. Just increase the size like this and then centralize this way. Now the image I'm going to be bringing in, I've already blended the image in the photo room application. All right, if you don't know how to blend in photo room, how to erase, check my video, all right, on how to use photo room to erase. You are going to find how to do that. Now I'm going to import the background, the image. Okay guys, so this is the image, so I'm going to mark this. Now can you see guys that the background, this image is blending well with the background now, but when you look at the background, you are going to see that the background is blue and this image is not blue. So it simply means that this combination cannot work. Remember, I always say it that your background must blend with your image. This combination cannot work. So it simply means that I will need to work on the hue, and the saturation of the background. So I'm going to click on the background and I'm going to click on my color filter. I'm going to change my hue. Can you see this guys? We're trying to get a perfect hue. All right, so I'm going to change my hue. Yeah, okay, so I'm going to leave my hue to 180 and my saturation, I want to reduce the saturation because it's too bright compared to the background. So I'm going to just reduce my saturation a little bit, all right, to -16, and I have something like this guys. Now can you see the original? Can you see this guys? So can you see that we are gradually achieving the goal? Now I'm going to increase this size this way, and then I'm going to place it here like this guys. I'm going to place it here like this. Now I'm just going to lock this layer. Now I'm going to say something here. Now for another designer might decide that I don't want this blending. I don't want this blending to be here, this image, I don't want it to be here, this right hand side. I want the image to be in the middle like this, all right, then so that my text can be here, all right. Another designer can decide to write the breakthrough night here like this, write the other informations like this, and then the image will fill this place. All it needs to do is to blend the background. He can decide to do it that way, but for me, remember I always say in my tutorial that there are 1001 ways to do a particular design. There is no one single way. There are different ways to do a particular design. So, and for me, for this particular design, this is the method I would love to use. All right, so I'll just leave this way and I'll lock this layer. Now the next thing I want to do is to write the breakthrough and to write the night. Right guys, so these are the fonts I'm going to be using. Now if you have my designers package, you can search for big. All right, you are going to see the fonts I use for this breakthrough once you search for big. All right, and if you have the package, you can search for gracias. You are going to see the fonts I used for this night. All right, so if you have the designers package, my designers package, you will have access to these fonts. Okay, and if you need the designers package, do well to check the video description. You're going to see a link to get the designers package. All right, and if you don't want to get the designers package, you can do well to use a font that you feel is cool. All right guys, now this is the breakthrough. All right, breakthrough night. Now for this breakthrough, I'll just make use of the font. All right, just make use of the font 130. Okay, so we'll just increase this to 130. all right, now because it is the theme, that's the reason why I'm making it as big as this. All right guys, now I'm just going to bring the original to front, and yeah, so I'm making it big because it's the theme. All right, I'm going to change the color of the night to yellow. Now remember, in my last tutorial I spoke about doing the design in your brain. All right, now when you look at this design, you will notice that the dispersion, the light dispersion I used, has this yellow effect on it. All right, now let me show you guys what I mean. I'm just going to mark it for you guys. Now this light, can you see this light dispersions? Can you see it? So it has this yellow, light on it. So I'm going to be making use of that yellow. I'm just going to make use of that yellow for the night. Now I'm also going to be adding shadow. All right, so I'll click on shadow, I'll enable shadow. Now can you see, immediately you enable shadow, it's going to reflect on the breakthrough. Now I'm just going to offset my X and offset my Y a little for the shadow. All right, so that I can have something like this. All right, so once you have something like this, you are good to go. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I want to cover the space in between the breakthrough and the night. All right, I don't want too much space in between the breakthrough and the night, so I'm just going to cover up the line spacing a little bit. All right, yeah, something like this. And then we have the night here like this guys. So you have the breakthrough night, and this is cool. All right, this is cool. All right, now the next thing we want to do, now I'm going to say this, guys. You don't want to place your knight here. All right, I know that I have taught you guys left alignment. All right, I know I've taught you guys left alignment, but when you place the knight here, for this particular design, the best place to place the knight is somewhere here in the middle, guys. Somewhere here in the middle of the breakthrough. All right, somewhere here in the middle of the breakthrough. All right, it's going to look more cool. Okay, it's going to look more cool. So that's the best place you can place, yeah, the knight. And this is cool. Now I'm going to just create my meta rule this way. Okay, now the next thing we want to do is to start imputing the call to actions. All right, the call to actions, also the text size for the knight. All right, we're just going to be using 117. Yeah, we're just going to use something like this for the text size. All right, then we lock these layers. Okay, now the next thing we want to do is to impute the logo and impute the call to actions, the venue. So I'm going to click on text. I'm going to write the venue. The font I used for the venue is the Montserrat font. Okay, so I'm going to change this to white. I'm going to change this to white, and I'm going to pick the Montserrat. Okay, yeah, so I'm going to pick the Montserrat medium. Okay, I'm going to pick the Montserrat medium, and I'm going to reduce the size. For this, we're going to make use of size, just reduce the size to 19. Okay, and then you have something like this, yeah, and then you have something like this. So we place this here, just move it down a little bit. All right, just move it down, yeah, like this. Now the next thing we want to do is to create the shapes. All right, is to create the shapes. Okay, so I'm going to click on shape. I'm going to reduce the shape this way. I'm going to place one here. Okay, I'm going to place one here. I'm going to reduce this way, like this. Now I'm also going to make sure this meta rule is this way. Okay, it's this way. Now what I'm trying to do is to ensure that my venue does not go off the breakthrough. So I'm going to create the shape, and I'll just reduce the size this way. I'll still need to move the breakthrough knight upwards. All right, and the reason why I'm moving the breakthrough knight upwards is because I want, I don't want my text to be too close to the ground as usual. So I'm going to move it upward. I'm also going to move this, and then I'm going to move this shape up this way. Now guys, I will have to reduce this because now I want the venue to be aligned to the breakthrough. Can you see this, guys? I want it to be aligned to the breakthrough. All right, that's why I'm doing this. And we can also move the breakthrough to the left a little bit. Okay, so we can move the breakthrough to the left this way. All right, and then we move the knight also. You can move the knight also to the left, but what it means is that we'll need to readjust our meta rule. All right, to adjust our meta rule this way, and then we'll move the knight. Okay, yeah, so we have something like this. Okay, and then we are going to readjust this also. We're going to readjust this, and then we move the venue this way. All right, you move the venue this way, and you have everything aligned. Now we move this shape this way also. Move this shape this way, and then reduce the size. Okay, because we're going to be creating two shapes. We're going to be writing the date for one, and write the time also. Now I'm going to make this shape the yellow color. So I'm going to click yellow. I'm going to mark this, and I'm going to duplicate the shape again, copy the shape, edit this copy, reduce the size this way, because we're writing just the date on this. Now let's edit this again. I'm just going to place this here this way. I'm going to mark this, place it here, move it down a bit. Okay, now let's see this if it's the same size. It's not the same size, so I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to edit, and I'm going to reduce the size this way. Yeah, just reduce it this way. Now place it here. This shape also must not go out of our margin. All right, so I'll still edit, I'll still reduce this size this way, and we're only going to write time here. All right, so we can actually reduce this the way we want. So I'm going to place it this way. Let me increase it a little bit. I've reduced it too much, so I'll increase it a little bit like this. Place it here, All right, so let's see, move it here. I want it to touch, I want it to, yeah, I just want it to touch, you know, that margin, and I want it to align also with this. Yes, so I'm going to move it this way, so to just touch the margin so that everything is going to align together. All right, and you're good to go. Now we change this to white, we change this color to white color, and then you have something like this. Can you see this, guys? You change to white and then you have something like this. Now we copy this text we use for the venue, and then we're going to write the details, all right, for the call to actions. The first detail is the Sunday 29th of December. So I'm going to change the color to black, and I'm going to change the Montserrat font we use. Remember, we used medium for the venue, so I'm going to pick Montserrat, going to pick bold, and then you click OK, and then you have this. Now I'm just going to move this way. I want it to sit in the middle of the shape, guys. Don't just place it anyhow, guys. Make sure it's sitting in the middle of the shape, guys. Make sure it's sitting in the middle of the shape. All right, so we reduce the size and make sure that it sits in the middle of the shape. So ensure you achieve that like this, guys. Now we copy this same text and then we write the time. All right, so we're going to write the time, which is 8 p.m. Now we bring down again, bring down, make sure it sits in the middle of this shape, guys. Make sure it sits in the middle of the shape. Now if it's too long, we can always work on the shape. All right, now for instance, it's too long like this, so I will edit this shape. I will increase this shape for, you know, the date. All right, and I'm going to reduce this shape for the time. So I'll edit this time shape, and then I'm going to reduce the time shape this way. All right, so you have something like this, and then you place it here. All right, so let's move again. Okay, let's move again, and then we place the 8 p.m. in between. Now we can increase this size for the 8 p.m. now. Let's see 21, if 21 will work. All right, let's try out 21 first. All right, so I'm going to move this way. I'm going to remove the meter rule, so we have 8 p.m. Now let's change this to 21 also. So we centralize it, make sure it's sitting inside the middle of the shape. Okay, yeah, so you have this and you have achieved, you know, this design. Now the last thing you want to add on in the Pixellab application is the logo of, you know, this church. Now I'm going to just bring the logo from my gallery. Okay, so the logo is a fictional logo, so you can choose any logo of your choice. I'm not going to be adding the logo in the resource file. All right, okay guys, so this is the logo. I'm going to change the color to white, and I'll just reduce the size this way, and then you just place the logo here like this. All right, just place the logo here like this, and you are done with this design. Now you just save this as image, save as ultra. Now the next thing we're going to do is to add, you know, the light dispersion and the fire particle effect in the Pixart application. So let's go to the Pixart application, guys. Alright guys, so these are the two images we'll be using. This is the Pixart application. Now this is the fire, you know, particle I used. So I'm going to rotate this fire particle like this. Alright, so that I have something like this. Okay, so or I can decide to rotate it this way so that I have more of the particle. Okay, so I'll increase the size this way, the fire particle, increase the size this way, and then click on blend and then click on screen, or you can check out, you know, add, okay, or lighting. You can check out which one works best. Screen, but I think we should go with screen. Okay, so I think we should go with screen. So I'm going to move down. So let's check out, this is screen, this is what screen looks like. Okay, so now I might just reduce the opacity of this particle. Let's see. Yeah, so let's reduce to about 66, and then we are good to go. Now for this dispersion, light dispersion, I'm going to increase the size this way. Now if you want to get light dispersions like this, you can check Pinterest, you get a lot of them. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to erase. Okay, I'm going to erase softly these places. Okay, now the reason why I'm erasing is because I want, you know, I want to have a soft landing. Okay, I want my effect to be soft on the design. Okay, remember, if we don't erase, it's going to be hard on the design. So that's why I'm erasing. So I'm going to erase this way, and I'm going to click on blend. I'm going to click on screen. Let's see add, what add we do. Okay, let's choose screen. Okay, So I'm going to click on screen, and then you have something like this. All right, so you can place one of the lights here. Okay, now we duplicate the light again. You can duplicate again, and then you can place another one here. All right, but if you place another one here, it simply means you're also going to erase the edges. So I'm going to click on eraser tool, and I'm going to erase softly the edges of this particular duplicate, and I'm going to mark, and I'm going to place somewhere here like this. Okay, and then you have something like this. But you have to be strategic in your placing of this this effect, so that it can make meaning on your design. If you are not strategic in placing it, if you are just placing it anywhere at all, you would not like the effect on your design, guys. You will not really like what the effect will look like on your design. Okay, now let's check out add. Let me see if add will work for this. I'm trying to look for the best effect. Let's check overlay, let's check lighting, so we can use lighting. All right, lighting works. I think lighting works well. We can use lighting. Now if you check this, you are going to see that I've made use of just two dispersion of light. Now you can decide to copy and create one more, and maybe place somewhere here like this. Can you see this, guys? So you have 3 dispersions. All right, now when you are done with this, you click on the download icon, guys. So when you are done with this, you mark this and you click on the download icon. You can see on the face, you can see that there's dispersion of light, and then there is also the fire effect. So you download this. Now the last thing you want to do, if you notice, guys, that the light effect, all right, the dispersion of light is too much, reduce the opacity. All right, you don't need it to be loud. If you notice it's too much, reduce the opacity. Okay, now once you download this, the last thing you like to do is to import this into the Lightroom application and enhance this design. All right, enhance this design, and this design is going to come out well, beautiful. It's going to look so amazing. All right, it's going to look so amazing. If you want to learn the A to Z on how to enhance your images or design using the light effect, the Lightroom application, using the Pixellab application, using the Snapseed application, you get that in my smartphone photo editing course below this video in the video description. Do well to check it out, guys. Thank you so much, guys, for staying to the end of this tutorial. I believe this has been so insightful for you, and I look forward to you practicing this and creating something amazing. Do not forget the principle, guys. Every image you use in your design must speak of the theme of the design. The images must communicate the essence of the design. If the images are not communicating the essence of the design, please do not use the images. Thank you so much, guys, for staying to the end of this tutorial. Until next time, guys.